that is seen that you don't understand, questions respectfully. Don't be hostile to one another. There's no need to be hostile. There is one thing that unites all of us. Any place where you see this flag of Biafra, any place where you see the picture of Mazen Nandekan, one strong thing that unites us is that we are all fighting for self-determination, independent of the United States of Biafra. Then, if you have a contribution towards that, make. Expose the evil of our enemies, expose the abuse, the human rights abuse of the Biafrans. Why is this so important about that seconds? What are you going to get from that? We must always ask ourselves questions. What is the common goal that unites us all as Biafra? For many people, the answer is dignity, security, justice, equal treatment, and the right to determine the political future through peaceful, lawful means, which is the referendum we are asking for. For many responsible and reasonable people, if you have brain, your brain is still working. One common goal that unites every one of us as Biafra, for many of us that are intelligent, many of us that are sincere and sensible, the answer is the only common goal that unites us all is dignity, having security of our land, having justice for everyone, equal justice to all, equal treatment to all, equal treatment. The right to determine our political future through peaceful and lawful means, which is the referendum we are asking for. Self-determination. If that is the goal, then we must learn to disagree without destroying one another. If our collective goal is dignity, security, justice, equal treatment, and the right to determine our fate politically, which is self-referendum and self-determination, why are we fighting each other? If that is the goal, then we must learn to disagree without destroying one another. There's no need to destroy each other when we disagree. Nobody said you shouldn't disagree. I've always said it. You must not agree with everything I say here. Likewise, me, I must not agree with everything you say. But we can't destroy and say we can't be hostile to each other because of disagreement. We disagree to learn. Even when you disagree with me here, even when you join me online, we engage, we disagree. Later on, you can go back and watch what you said. You come back and watch what I have said. Maybe somewhere where we both of us agree. In that place we agree, we can use it to make amends, make corrections, and we move forward. But we don't see that. We must learn to debate without hatred. This message is for Biafrans. We must learn to debate without hatred. Very, very important. We must learn to correct one another without turning ourselves into enemies. We can correct one another without turning ourselves into enemies. Some of us today, we have spoken so much evil, so much bad words, that even that person you're talking about can never ever forgive you. And even if he forgives you, he will never want to have anything to do with you again in life. More especially those of us that are broadcasting. Some of us have spoken so much evil about people that tomorrow, when those people see you, they will never forgive you. Even if they forgive you, they will never want to have anything to do with you, nor any organization that you belong. So many of us, because of what we have said, we have driven people out of this struggle. We must learn to correct one another without turning ourselves into enemies. A house divided against itself cannot stand. It is a common word. We hear it every day. We see it every day. We hear it in our churches. We hear it in our home. But yet, Do we put it into practice? No. It's like a song every day in the church. It's like a song every day in our family. A house divided against itself cannot stand. A people who spend all their energy in internal conflict will have little energy left for constructive engagement, legal advocacy, diplomacy, outreach, and community development. That is the sad of it all. That is the sadness in it. That is how bad it is. When you devote your own, channel all your energy in confusion, when we channel all our energy in internal conflict, the time we will use to talk about the enemy, the time we used to confront the enemy, we will spend it on internal conflict. After spending all the time, like some people, when they come online, they will spend 5 hours talking about their fellow Biafra. They will spend only 10 minutes to talk about the enemies of Biafra and way forward. How does that work? You spend all your energy on internal conflict. When it comes to the real thing, you will have little energy left for constructive engagement. For legal advocacy, no more energy. Diplomacy, outreach, and community development, gone. Because you have exhausted your energy. Just like the Department of Sabotua today. This DOS, look at the energy that DOS today, this such DOS, look at the energy they are pulling out to bring Mazen down. Look at how many media warriors they have recruited. Look at how they are going to platform. Look at how every day from morning till night, we are they putting the same energy since Mazen was kidnapped. We are they putting the same energy to see that Biafra is free. Did they put the same energy to see that Mazen Nankan is free? They did not. The only man who was putting energy all this way from the day Mazen Nankan was Mazen Samarikwa. Mazen Samarikwa started broadcasting 2-3 times a day. Each of his broadcasts sometimes 4 hours, 6 hours, sleepless night. Every one of them focus on position. But today, look at them today. Look at the time they devote in talking. Look at how they are chatting when they are talking about Mazen Nankan. Propaganda is not even the truth. Propaganda and lie. And I thank you for some of the idiots today that are getting lost. The one that called herself Nekachimesi. She will go and face her lawsuit. And so many of them, the idiot in Israel, will find himself in Nigeria very soon. And so many of them who are lying. You are not even, the funny thing that is not even a fact. If you were telling the truth, it's a different thing. But lies. You brazenly lie against someone. The era of those unnecessary lies has gone. We are in the era of reality. Whatever you allege, you have to come out and explain it. You have to come and explain it. This is the time for maturity. This is the time for strategic thinking. Every one of us. This is the time for Biafra across different countries, organizations, and opinions to begin to see themselves first as members of one family with a shared concern of justice and self-determination. One family. That is why I see some people, those of them who are looking down on IPOB, said it, that IPOB is not a threat to anybody. IPOB is our family. Every one of us belongs to IPOB. You can be in any mushroom group you like. No problem. I don't have anything against it. You can be in any mushroom group. You can be anywhere where you feel that you can understand better, where you think that your opinion and idea is better for you. But always remember, we have one central family, IPOB, under the supreme leader, Mazen Nandi. And those of you that come and belittle IPOB, you said IPOB is an organization. You're an idiot. They say IPOB is just an organization. It's just an, you are an idiot. When you're trying to belittle IPOB as just an organization, you're an idiot. And I've asked you so many times, before you can say that, can you please show the world the registration of your own mushroom group? Before you begin to refer to IPOB as just an organization, can you show the world the registration of your own group? How is it registered? Is your own registered as a country, a nation, or what? Can you please show us? Then after having done that, then you will now begin to, we will see a reason to maybe agree with you. You are registered as an organization, and yet you try to belittle IPOB. Say IPOB is not just an organization, it is our family. That is a family of the Biafra people where we belong. Our taproot, that is Anobi. In Igbo language, they call it Anobi. And that Anobi, you don't sell it. For those who are Igbos, Anobi is the ancestral home. Ancestral home. Igbo people know the seller. We know the sell ancestral home. Your ancestral home, where your umbilical was buried. They know the seller. That is what IPOB is to us. It is not just an organization. Anybody that preaches to the says IPOB is these some idiots that are scared. They are afraid of the position to occupy in that their mushroom group where they are. They feel that when they come into the family, they will no longer be recognized the way they are recognized in their little mushroom groups. And because of that, they will tell you, oh, IPOB is just an organization. And I ask them, can you show me your own registration of that mushroom group you have? How were you registered? A country, a nation, or what? And some of us Biafrans, we don't ask questions. We do not ask questions. They just come out and talk to you and you carry that wrong. You don't even ask questions. Some of them will carry that mentality. They will come to challenge me in my platform. They will write nonsense. I would be happy if they will be clicking the link. They click link and come and speak to me face to face. I will be happy to see them come, click the link, then challenge me face to face on that question. Or they will come to comment section and write one nonsense or the other and they run away. To distract those, they will distract. I said it, my platform is not a platform for content creating. It is not a platform for a content creator. It's a platform for an activist. And I say things the way they are, based on reality, not on dreams and wishes. You have the right to have a wish. You have the right to dream big and dream whatever. But I speak on reality. So if you're one of those who is scared of reality, you don't want to know about the reality on ground. You want to encourage yourself with fake news every time. You want to encourage yourself with fake dreams that will never even come to pass. Good luck. Here is not your place. The people that here, those who are paying attention to reality, who want to know the reality, who want to know what is the truth, the reality of the ground. If you are searching for reality, you will find it here. This is the time for Biafrans across different countries, organizations, and opinions to begin to see themselves members of one family with one shared concern of justice and self-determination. I have explained unity several times. When I talk about unity, unifying, being together, unity does not mean uniformity. These are two different things. You can use your Google to search it. You can search for the meaning. Unity does not mean uniformity. They are two different things. I've made it clear several times. Unity does not mean that everybody must speak with same voice or belong to same organization. That is not what unity means. Unity does not stop you from having your own group. It does not stop you from having your own opinion idea. Unity does not mean everybody must speak with the same voice or belong to the same organization. No, that's not unity. Unity means that despite our differences, we recognize certain common principles. Despite our different voice, different ideas, different groups, we recognize certain common principles. Respect for human life. Commitment to peaceful engagement. respect for the rule of law, protection of our people from harm, defense of fundamental human rights, support for fair legal process, refusal to demonize fellow Biafran because of differences in opinion. When these principles are present, a movement becomes stronger and more credible before the international community. The recognition we are asking and seeking for will come by itself. It will begin to come. You think they are not watching? They are watching. They are watching. They are watching. Don't think they're not watching. So whichever group you are, the common goal you must have within you. There is one certain principle we must recognize in unity. We must recognize. Respect human life. It does not matter your opinion, your group, respect human life. Commitment to peaceful engagement. Whenever you engage with people or anything, be peaceful. Respect for rule of law. Respect the rule of law. Any country where you are, any place you are, respect the rule of law. Protection of people from harm. Protection of people from harm. Not only those you love, even those you hate, protect them from harm. Defense of fundamental human rights of everybody. Support for fair legal process. Just like we are calling for support from our Simon Ekpa, our own Prime Minister. We are calling for support for fair legal process. And in calling for support from our Simon Ekpa, in any means you can do, spiritually, physically, monetarily, anyone, push it in. I have said it, in this remaining 1 month, channel all your energy to Mazi Simon Ekpa. Any help you want to give, let it go to the legal of Mazi Simon Ekpa. This 1 month. After this 1 month, then we can take other responsibilities. Protection of people from harm. Defense of fundamental human rights. Support for legal process. Refusal to demonize fellow Biafrans because of difference. Do not demonize. Some of them, once you disagree with them, they call you saboteur. Once, because you have a different opinion, even simply asking a question, they call you a saboteur because you asked a question. Saboteur today has not become a common name. It has just become like hello. It doesn't. It no longer have meaning when it comes to this agitation because once you have a different opinion, the next thing they will say, "Oh, he's a saboteur. He's a saboteur." We must refuse to demonize fellow Biafran, regardless the group they belong. Regardless of it, refuse to demonize your fellow Biafran because of differences in opinion. When these principles are present, when you have these principles in you, a movement becomes stronger and more credible before the international communities. The Biafran restoration movement will become stronger and unstoppable. We must continue to call for justice for the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We must continue to call for his unconditional release. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been involved in legal proceedings that have generated widespread public interest and debate. Many supporters have expressed concerns about the process, which a flawed process has been applied by Nigeria. The handling of this case and the need for proceedings to meet constitutional and international legal standards is what we have been crying for. And Nigeria is a problem country. They can never do anything according to law. Look at the man that kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Attorney General, who framed all these accusations against Mazi. Today, he's facing fraud case. His properties have been seized that he stole through illegal means. This is the man that was pursuing an innocent person. Today, he's facing the court in the zoo. We are only asking for fair hearing from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We're not asking for pardon. We're not asking for any clemency or pardon. No. Fair hearing. The rule of law, let it be respected. Respect for constitutional rights of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and also Mazi Simon Ekpa. Access to legal representation. That's what we're asking for. Transparent judicial process. Compliance with domestic and international legal obligations. This is about asking for special treatment. This is not about asking for special treatment. We are not asking for any special treatment for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are just asking for the right thing to be done. For the right thing to be done. It is about asking that the law be applied fairly and transparently. That's what we are saying. The true test of law, the true test of the rule of law, is not how it treats the popular or the powerful. It is how it treats those whose views are controversial or contested. That is how you see the rule of law. The true test of the rule of law is not how it treats the popular people and the powerful. It is how it treats those whose views are controversial or contested. That is when you know what is called rule of law. In the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the case of Mazi Simon, that is where the rule of law need to be applied. That is where the international community need to do and speak about the rule of law. Not when it has to do with a popular person or a rich person. No. If the legal process is fair, let it be seen to be fair. If rights are protected, let the world see that the rights are protected. Justice must not only be done, justice must be seen to be done. In the case of our Prime Minister, in the case of our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we will not stop calling for justice for Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. The same way we are calling for justice for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we will not stop calling for justice for Mazi Simon Ekpa. The legal situation involving Simon Ekpa has also attracted international attention, with any individual facing legal proceedings. The principle of due process, presumption of innocence, access to counsel, and a fair and transparent hearing remains essential. We saw what transpired in the lower court of Mazi Simon Ekpa. They refused to admit every single evidence Mazi Simon Ekpa provided against the oppressors, against the accusers. They refused to admit it. That is why at this appeal, we are putting forward every single thing. That is why the international lawyer is needed. I've said it time and time again. You have the Finnish lawyer and the advice is given. Finnish lawyer is even telling us that when we come to Finland, we should not say that someone is innocent. And it might be counterproductive according to their law. According to their law, that the statement must based on evidence on their table. So, judging from the evidence on the table, you can't accuse them and say they did something wrong until they say something that is different. You see why it is necessary to make sure that Mazi Simon Ekpa is adequately represented from outside. By torchlighting the case through international laws, through the United Nations, the EU, and the United States. We are within our rights to ask that his case be handled in accordance with the law of the country, where the proceedings are taking place and in line with internationally recognized standard of justice. That's what we're asking Mazi Simon Ekpa. Internationally recognized standard of justice, because once they follow that internationally recognized justice, there's no way Mazi Simon will be detained. Mazi Simon will not be detained for a second. This is an important point because the credibility of the democratic society is threatened when legal matters are handled impartially, transparently, and without prejudice. That's what we're calling for. Our call, therefore, is simple. Let the rule of law be respected. Let fair hearing be granted. Let fair hearing be guaranteed for Manchester Maneka. Let justice take its proper course without fear or favoritism. That is why we are calling for international attention on the case of Manchester Maneka. The case of Manchester Maneka already is getting enough international attention, even in the White House. We want the case of Manchester Maneka to get the same international attention. Some people ask, why do we keep calling for international attention? Some people are calling. They ask us, why are we calling for international attention? We call for international attention because human rights, fair trial standard, and the rule of law are matters of global concern. That is why we continue to call for international attention. Because some of you say, why every time we are calling, why are you always talking about international attention? Now you have the question. The answer to that. Those of you that are asking us, why are we calling for international attention? The reason we are calling for international attention is because human rights, fair trial standards, and the rule of law are matters of global concern. They are matters of global concern around the whole world. International observers, human rights organizations, legal organizations, associations, and diplomatic institutions often pay attention to cases that raises significant questions about due process and civil liberty. That's why we are calling them. We are asking the international community to observe legal proceedings where appropriate, encourage transparency, support the protection of fundamental rights, promote peaceful dialogue, encourage solution that reduces tension and protect lives. International attention should never be misunderstood as hostility towards any nation. No, it is not. Rather, it is a part of global effort to ensure that justice system inspires confidence and upholds the rights guaranteed under law. You as a Biafran, my people, beyond speeches, what should we do? Beyond all the speeches we make online, talking, shouting here and there, what should we do? That is the question some of you will be asking. Pray for wisdom. We must pray for wisdom. Pray for wisdom for our leaders, our lawyers, our elders, our community. Pray for wisdom. That is number one. We must pray for wisdom for our leaders, for our broadcasters that are coming online every day shouting and complicating issues. Pray for wisdom. These are practical things we can do. Yes, pray for wisdom. Number two, support peaceful engagement. Every engagement that is peaceful, support it. Support lawful advocacy, constructive dialogue, legal processes, and peaceful civic participation. Support it. Support it. Try as much as possible to avoid hate speech. Avoid hate speech. Do not use social media to spread hatred against fellow Biafran or other ethnic groups. Don't. Do not use social media to spread hatred against fellow Biafran or other ethnic groups. It doesn't help us. It does not help us. It has never helped. And we are not doing that. That is not what we are known for. That's not what Biafra is known for. Educate the younger ones. These are practical things we can do. Educate our younger ones. Teach our children the history of the struggle, the importance of justice, the value of peaceful engagement. Support families affected by the struggle. These are practical things we can do. Number 5, support families affected by struggle. Many families have suffered emotional, financial, and social hardship. Let us show compassion for the relatives to them. Show compassion. Show compassion and solidarity to them. Let us build our communities. Let us continue to build our communities. Strong people must invest in education, business, agriculture, technology, and community development. For every Biafran youth, to the young people listening to me this morning, I want to speak directly to you. Your passion is important, but passion must always be guided by wisdom. Your passion as a young Biafran, your passion is important, but passion must be guided by wisdom. Do not allow anger to destroy your future. Do not allow social media excitement to push you into action that may bring harm to yourself or others. Be informed. Read history. Understand the law. Develop skills. Build businesses. Become professionals. Become community leaders. A generation that is educated, disciplined, economically empowered, and united will be far more effective than a generation consumed by internal conflict. Our youths and young ones, be careful. This is an advice for you. And to our elders out there, we know we have gotten so much disappointment by our elders. A lot. In fact, the elders are the source of the problem we're facing today. But to our elders, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and community stakeholders, your role is critical. This is the time to encourage reconciliation where there are misunderstanding. This is the time to speak words that heals rather than words that divide. This is the time to help create channels for dialogue and mutual understanding. The younger generation is watching. Let us give them an example of maturity, patience, and wisdom. I hope that our elders will hear. Our demand this morning, as we summarize, our demand clearly. First, recognize and honor the sacrifice of the living heroes of Biafra agitation, including Mazi Simon Njoko and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is my demand this morning. Attacking them is not helping. Attacking them is destroying everything we stand for. Any attack against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, against Mazi is destroying everything we stand for. Attacking Mazi Simon is destroying everything we stand for. Recognize and honor the sacrifice of our living heroes of this agitation. More especially, our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the Brigadier Prime Minister, Mazi Simon. Secondly, let all Biafrans pursue greater unity around shared principle of justice, peace, dignity, and self-determination through lawful means, as we have been doing. Thirdly, ensure that the cases involving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon receive fair, transparent, lawful treatment in accordance with the rule of law and international recognition standard of due process. This is the one that we are focusing now, because Mazi Simon is coming to court and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be in court soon. At least we have the date for Mazi Simon. We must ensure that the case involving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa receive fair, transparent, and lawful treatment in accordance with the rule of law and international recognized standard of due process. Fourth, we call on the international community legal observers, and human rights advocates to continue paying attention to the issue of fair hearing, liberty, and peaceful resolution of disputes. Wherever you're watching this program today, if you have not yet shared this program, I urge you to share as we are rounding up. My brothers and sisters, lovers of freedom across the world who are watching, history is watching our generation. One day, our children will ask us, did you stand for justice? Did you defend fairness? Did you promote peace? Did you seek unity among your people? Did you honor those who sacrificed for the cause you believe in? May our answer be yes. Let us leave this broadcast with a renewed commitment to unity, to wisdom, lawful advocacy, and constructive engagement. Let us continue to pray for our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let us continue to pray for Brigadier Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoku. Let us continue to pray for all those affected by the struggle. And let us continue to pray that justice, peace, and the rule of law will prevail. If you have been blessed by this message, I want you to type on the comment section, unity and justice. Type unity and justice in the comment section. Put it down, unity and justice in the comment section. Like this video, share it widely. If you have not subscribed to our channel, try as much as possible to subscribe. And let the world hear the voice of the people asking for justice, fairness, and peaceful resolution. I appreciate everyone that have been part of us in this program today. Everyone that have participated in this program, I appreciate you. I thank you so much for being part of the program. No matter the battle we are facing, we will never give up. No matter the attack, we will never back down. The freedom of Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku and the freedom of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is something we will continue to demand for unapologetically. And that is the only project that we have. In the next 1 month, the only project that we have is Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku because of his appeal that is coming up on the 5th of August that will last up until the 21st of August. And also the protest that's going to happen on the 4th. Every Biafran need to be in that protest. Every Biafran, every legitimate Biafran, except for one reason or the other. If you can make it, make sure you are there. Make sure you are there. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has personally demanded for the presence of Biafrans in solidarity. We need to be there. There is no excuse. No excuse whatsoever. The same number of people that went for convention in Finland, the same number that went for declaration in Finland, they are needed this time. They are needed in Finland once again to make a clear statement by their presence. I appreciate every one of you. And we are going to go to the final section where we will go to their media to see what they have in their media. You know, it is very interesting not to skip that part. We will go to their media to see the update they have in their media so that we can be able to use it also to educate the world and let the world know that our call for self-determination is not born out of envy, jealousy, greed, or because of our resources. It is a necessity to save life. The only way we can confirm that is by information coming from their media. when you see the information come from the media of Nigeria, you have no choice than to join us and call for the disintegration of the contraption called Nigeria. Before we go into the media, let us have a quick break, and then we will go to the media.
Follow for God, they say Tinubu don't follow for God. Tinubu don't follow for God. He want to take it, that's the top of our head.